football fans, we are ready for NFL picks for week number 7 in the league where they play. For pay! Great to be back with you. The best audience in all of YouTube is right here. Week number 7 already. Season's flying by. 9-3 last week. 6 teams on a bye this week. That's a lot. Buffalo on a bye. They're down to 4-2. Had the heartbreaking loss in Tennessee last night on Monday Night Football. They get stopped on the quarterback sneak late. Buffalo's offense real good. Defense has to pick it up a little bit. Dallas, they're also on a bye. They're up to 5-1. Won a wild game in New England in overtime. Those were the type of games Dallas was losing last year. They're winning those games this year. Dallas, to me, looks like a legitimate contender. Have to cut down on their penalties, though. Jacksonville, they finally get a win. They're up to 1-5, beat Miami in London. Chargers, they need a bye in the worst way. They're down to 4-2. They just got smacked around by Baltimore. Not surprised Baltimore won. I was surprised about how easily they did it. I thought that game would be close. The Chargers got smacked around. Minnesota on a bye. They're up to 3-3, beat Carolina. Minnesota is kind of an up-and-down team. They have some talent. They could sneak into the playoffs. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team, but I think they could be a bottom, playoff team. Pittsburgh, they're also up to 3-3, beat Seattle in overtime. Very strange game. Pittsburgh dominated the first half, looked bad in the second half. They did get the win. They have won 2 in a row. They are up to 3-3. I'm not a believer in them, though. All right, let's get it going. Week number 7, pick number 1. Let's go out to sunny Los Angeles, the city of angels, where the L.A. Rams are minus 15 against the Detroit Lions. Rams up to 5-1, beat the Giants. That should surprise nobody. And then you have the Lions, or should I call them the Kittens? The Lions are 0-6. Lost to Cincinnati in a game that was never competitive. Then I got the coach of the Lions for the second straight week in the postgame. 2 weeks ago, he's blubbering in the postgame. Now he's calling out Goff. I mean, come on. The Lions stink. Okay, the Lions stink. Let's say it. I know they were in a couple close games. I understand that. But as Bill Parcells used to say, you are what your record says you are. And the Lions are 0-6, and they're the only team in the National Football League with no wins. They stink. And they got embarrassed at home by Cincinnati. I know Cincinnati is much improved. The Lions were not competitive in this game. They are an inept franchise. I always talk about Jacksonville and the Jets. Well, I'll tell you what. The Lions are just as bad as all of those franchises. I don't think the Lions have won a playoff game since 1991. 3 decades, and they can't win a playoff game? Really? Embarrassing. 0-6. And the bloom is off the rose with Mr. Goff, by the way. Remember when Mr. Goff was on the Rams and they got to the Super Bowl against New England? The bloom is off the rose now. And here's another thing I was thinking about. The Lions should get out of that dome stadium and play outside. Get an identity. Be a tough team. Play in the elements. Green Bay does. Chicago does. There's no reason why the Lions can't play outside. They've been nothing but awful inside. Get their ass outside. Build them an open-air stadium. Let them play in the elements. Maybe they can establish a tough identity. Because they stink now. They're as soft as a French pastry at my local bakery. They're a bunch of cream puffs. And I'm sick of it. Detroit deserves better. That is a tough working class city. They've had some tough teams in other sports, like the bad boys in the NBA. or the Red Wings in the NHL. Even some of the Tiger teams led by Sparky Anderson have been tough. And then you got the Cream Puff Lions. They don't even fit in Detroit. They're so soft. Get their ass outside. Let them play in the elements. Maybe they'll toughen them up. Maybe they'll establish some identity. And I don't want to hear that it's cold in Detroit. It's cold in Green Bay. It's cold in Chicago. It's cold in Pittsburgh. It's cold in New York. It's cold up in New England. They play outside. I'm sick of the Lions. Tired of them. Detroit deserves better. Bunch of cream puffs. As far as this game, for all you super teaser lovers that you get a boatload of points, you got to take the Rams here. Detroit won't be able to score any points against the Rams. They couldn't score against Cincinnati at home. You think they're going to go on the road and score against the Rams? Please, the Rams are going to be all fired up, to play Goff again. Goff coming back to Los Angeles. You think the Rams want to lose to him? Oh, please. Please, Donald is going to put Goff right down. Put him down. Put him down. I don't know if the Lions are going to score in this game. Rams, big. That's pick number 1. Pick number 2, let's go out to the desert in Arizona, where the Arizona Cardinals are -17 against the Houston Texans. Texans down to 1-5, lost to Indianapolis. The Texans could very well go 1-16 now. They're that bad. And how about Arizona? 6-0, beat Cleveland. They have had some quality road wins this year. Beat up Tennessee in Tennessee, beat up the Rams in Los Angeles, and beat up Cleveland. I know Cleveland has a lot of injuries, but still, an impressive resume by Arizona, especially on the road. Nice job by the Cardinals. Arizona -17. I mean, again, like the first game, for all you super teaser lovers that you get 1,000,000 points, you got to take Arizona here. This could be a 49-13 game. There's no way the Texans are going to be in this game. This game will be over by a halftime. Arizona, pick number 2. Pick number 3. Let's go to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, where the team with the most championships and Super Bowls combined resides. The Green Bay Packers, who are -9.5 against the Washington football team. Green Bay up to 5-1, beat Chicago. Green Bay's won 5 in a row. How do you like Rodgers at the end of the game there? Going after the Chicago Bear fans, saying, I own you. He does. I think he's 24-5 against the Bears, something crazy like that. Rodgers in the postgame, though, said he blacked out, didn't know what he said. I mean, come on, Rodgers. You know what you said. You said it about 20 times. You own him. I guess he was trying to be funny. But the Packers do own the Bears. Rodgers, he definitely owns the Bears as well. And then you got the Washington football team. Oh, my, another one. They're down to 2-4, lost to Kansas City. Their defense has given up, since week 2, over 30 points a game every single week. Didn't Washington have a good defense last year? What happened? What happened? We know their offense isn't all that great. So they got to win on defense, and they're not doing that. They don't look good at all to me, Washington. As a matter of fact, besides Dallas, that whole division looks weak. Washington, Philly, and the Giants look weak. Dallas is going to win this division by 8 games. As far as this particular game, 3-team teaser, 9 points, moving to pick them and take the pack. How could you possibly like Washington here? On the road in Green Bay. Green Bay's won 5 in a row. Washington can't stop anyone. Who do you think's going to win? Please. Green Bay, pick number 3. Pick number 4, let's go out to Santa Clara, San Francisco. Alcatraz. By the way, anyone ever see the movie Escape from Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood? Good movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. San Francisco 49ers -4 against the Indianapolis Colts. Niners are 2-3 coming off a bye. We'll see if it's Garoppolo or Lance this week. I think it'll be Garoppolo. Indianapolis, they're up to 2-2. Beat Houston. I'll tell you, Indianapolis would love to have that Baltimore game back because they'd be 3-3 if they didn't blow that game. But Indianapolis, the last 3 weeks, has been playing better. T.Y. Hilton back in the lineup. I'm going to move this line to 10 and take the Colts. The Colts, like I just mentioned, they've played a lot better the last 3 weeks. And the Niners, I just don't trust them this year. Have had a lot of injuries. Quarterbacks have been in and out. I like the Colts here. I think the Colts can win this game outright, to be honest with you. And with 10, I absolutely love them. So I'm going Colts here. That's pick number 4. Pick number 5. Let's go to Baltimore. Very good game here with the Baltimore Ravens are -6.5 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Baltimore up to 5-1, just smacked around the Chargers. Beat the Chargers into the ground. Stomped on them. I was very surprised about that. Again, not that Baltimore won, but how they did it. That was impressive. Baltimore is really showing me a lot this year. That was a very impressive win. I mean, that game was never really close, and the Chargers have had a good year. So Baltimore doing a fabulous job. Cincinnati, they're much improved. They're up to 4-2. Beat up the Lions, as I just mentioned. The Burrow to Chase combination is really working. That Cincinnati defense is improved. This is a very good game. Baltimore at home -6.5 against Cincinnati. I'm going to move it to 12.5 and take the Bengals. I just think it's going to be a close game. Division rivals, a lot on the line here. First place on the line. I think it's going to be close. And I know Baltimore won big last week, but in the National Football League against good teams, you don't blow out, everybody. You just don't do it. This game should be close. I'm moving it to 12.5 and taking the Bengals in a must-watch game. A very intriguing game. A very important game when it comes to the grand scheme of things of that division. I'll take the Bengals plus 12.5 to at least keep it close. That's pick number 5. Pick number 6. Let's go to Music City, Nashville, where the Kansas City Chiefs are -5 against the Tennessee Titans. Kansas City up to 3-3, beat Washington, played a good game on both sides of the ball. Their defense played better. You expect Kansas City to make some kind of run. Can't count them out. Too much talent. And then you got Tennessee. They're up to 4-2. Nice win against Buffalo. Really nice win against Buffalo. Have the big play at the end of the game where they stop the quarterback on the sneak. Tennessee doing a nice job. How about Henry? How about Mr. Henry? Is this guy not a locomotive? This guy's a freight train. You want to get in the way of him? No, thank you. No, thank you. That's why I'm sitting here. The guy is an absolute locomotive. He's a monster, and he can move. He's not just big. He can move. That's like trying to tackle a car. And they showed his workout regime in the off-season. The guy puts in the work. You want to be a professional ball player? Go check out what Mr. Henry does in the off-season. Climbing up hills, running up hills. I got to get my nephew's soccer team to get this workout regime. Let's get him up the hill. Henry's running up the hill. He's got weights on him. It's unbelievable. The guy puts in the work and it pays off. I'm going to move the line to 11 and take Tennessee. I get 11 points. I get the home field. Tennessee's a good team. They usually play the better teams well, as you saw last night against Buffalo. I think it's going to be the exact same type of game. Both teams going up and down the field. Both teams scoring. Could come down to the end. But if I'm getting 11, I like Tennessee at home. That's pick number 6. Pick number 7. Let's go up to New England, where the New England Patriots are -7 against the New York Football Jets. Jets 1-4 coming off a bye. A bye week for the Jets is a victory as far as I'm concerned. And the Patriots, they're down at 2-4, lost a heartbreaking game to Dallas. The last 2 home games for New England, they lost heartbreakers to Tampa Bay and Dallas. They could have won both of them. New England 0-4 at home. I'll tell you where New England lost this game. They're in overtime. They have, I think, a 3rd and 3 from their own 45. They throw a deep pass down the field, incomplete. Could have been a face mask on Dallas. Could have been. But then New England punted. To me, that's where they lost the game. They should have went for it right there. The punt wasn't all that great. Only went to the 20. Dallas was going to move the ball no matter where you gave it to them. You could have put it on the Dallas one. They were getting down the field. They were moving the ball up and down the field all day. The right play there was for New England to go for it, try and win it with your offense. You could have even on 3rd and 3 run the ball there, then come back again on 4th down. Didn't like that sequence of events from Belichick. That's where being an old school coach came back to haunt him. Because a new school coach would have went for that. You see these new school coaches, they go for it all the time. And I don't agree with a lot of it. But here, the right play for New England, 3rd and 3 from your own 45, maybe run the ball there, then go for it on 4th down. Instead, they throw a bomb down the field, incomplete, then they punt. And there was no way Dallas wasn't getting back down the field. The game was there to be won for New England with their offense. And that's where Belichick, being an old school coach, came back to haunt them. I would have went for it there. What's the worst that can happen? New England, listen, this is all house money for them this year. They're not going to have a big season. They're not going to make a run to the Super Bowl. You like the quarterback. You have nothing to lose here. They should have went for it on offense. Would have never punted it there, and then the punt wasn't even that good. And the New England defense in certain spots was awful in this game. Dallas just chewed them up. Do we have to go man-to-man on Lamb every time? It was like 3rd and 25, and Lamb catches a 24-yard pass over the middle, sets up the field goal. Then in overtime, he's wide open again one-on-one. I mean, you can't do that. The guy was killing you all game. Come on, make some adjustments. So I didn't like some things from Belichick there, but New England did play very hard. Again, they could have easily beaten Tampa and Dallas. They lose both of them. They're 2-4. They will not lose this week. They will not lose to the New York Football Jets in their own building. New England will get their first win of the year. The spread is 7. 2-team teaser, move it to 1 and take the Pats. The Pats will win this game. The Jets are not Tampa Bay. The Jets are not Dallas. New England wins. That's pick number 7. Pick number 8. Let's go to Las Vegas. With the Las Vegas Raiders at -3 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles down to 2-4, lost to Tampa Bay in a game that it looked closer than it was because Philly didn't do much right in this game. Tampa Bay moved the ball up and down the field. Philly didn't do much on offense. They never run the ball either. The only time they run the ball is when Hurts is running for his life. And Philly doesn't look like a good team to me at all. They do not look like a good team to me at all. Las Vegas, they're up to 4-2, went into Denver and won. Very nice win by Vegas, especially with all the Gruden stuff. Vegas, with all the problems, with all the, with a couple bad losses, they are 4-2 and tied for first place. 4-2 right there with the Chargers, right there for a playoff spot. And look like they put the John Gruden stuff behind them already with that big win in Denver. Vegas -3 at home against Philly. This spread is too light to me. This is only 3. You think Philly is going to go into Vegas and win? I don't see that. I don't think Philly's capable of that. They don't have enough firepower. They cannot match firepower in the desert with Vegas. Vegas will win this game. So go money line here. Make it pick them in the money line and take Vegas. I have no faith that Philadelphia is going to go on the road and win this game. No faith at all. None. Vegas should move the ball on them. The Philly offense is shaky. Vegas should win this game. That's pick number 8. Pick number 9, let's go down to Tampa Bay with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are -13.5 against the Chicago Bears. Wow, we have some big spreads this week. Tampa Bay up to 5-1, beat Philly. Brady and the Bucs just keep on keeping on. They just keep doing it. You just figure one of these days Brady is going to look old. He never does. The guy is just unbelievable. He's superhuman. He's the bionic man. And then the Bears, they're down to 3-3, lost to Green Bay. Listen, here's the story with the Bears. They play good, solid defense, but the offense just is not giving them enough. With Fields, they don't have an explosive attack. You're relying too much on the defense, and against really good teams, it's asking a lot. It's asking a lot. The defense is solid. The Bear running game is good, despite having 2 running backs out. But with Fields at quarterback, they're not exactly lighting up the scoreboard. You see this every week. They're scoring 14, 17. They're not scoring a lot of points. And against the better teams in the league, it's not going to work. And when you go on the road against Tampa Bay, it's not going to work. they're not going to be able to match Tampa Bay. They're just not going to be able to do it as far as offense. Again, 14 teaser, 12 points, moving to 1.5. You got to like Tampa Bay at home here. You have to like Tampa Bay. You know, they played Thursday night, so they have a long time to prepare. You know Brady, when he's got a long time to prepare, watch out. They're more explosive at home. And the Bears on the road, I don't know. It's asking a lot for them to hold Tampa Bay down for a whole game. I like Tampa Bay here in like a 14 teaser. That's pick number 9. Pick number 10. Oh, boy. Let's go to the Meadowlands in New Jersey, not too far from here, where the Carolina Panthers are -3 against the New York Football Giants. Carolina down to 3-3, lost to Minnesota. McCaffrey will be out a while. The Panthers are a completely different team without McCaffrey. Completely different. Giants sit down to 1-5. Just got bombed by the Rams. Jones did play. Didn't matter. Giants just got chewed up in this game. The Giants have so many injuries, too. It's hard to even evaluate them now. I mean, I love to bash them, but they do have a ton of injuries. They got so many guys out. This game is just a mess. Just a mess. I mean, Carolina's lost 3 in a row. The Giants are awful with a lot of injuries. I'll say it's close because of that. I'll move it to 9 and take the Giants. They're home. I mean, at some point they're going to have to show some sort of life, right? Show some sort of pride at home. I mean, you got embarrassed last week. Carolina without McCaffrey, they're not as explosive. Maybe the Giants can hang around. I don't love this game. I really don't. I really don't. But if I had to play it, I'd move it to 9 and take the Giants. It should be a messy, sloppy, ugly game. That leads me to believe it'll be close. I'll take the Giants. That's pick number 10. Not one of my favorite plays. Pick number 11. Let's go down to South Beach, Miami, where Sly Stallone lives. As you got the Atlanta Falcons -2.5 against the Miami Dolphins. Atlanta 2-3 coming off a bye. Atlanta has 2 wins against the New York teams. Miami, just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, it did. They're down to 1-5. They've lost 5 in a row. They lose to Jacksonville at Tottenham Stadium over in England. Tua did play. They still lost. What has happened to Miami? They were 10-6 last year, and they were very competitive. They're 1-5. They've lost 5 in a row. They just lost to Jacksonville. Say it ain't so. Again, this is another slop bowl. This is a game I'd stay away from. And I don't want to do this, but I'm going to move it to 8.5 and take Miami. I have to think that they'll at least be close with Atlanta, right? Atlanta, I don't think, is capable of blowing out anybody. So if I can get the spread up to 8.5 in a 2-team teaser, I have Miami at home. You got to show me something, Dolphins. Tua's back. Give me something. And this is painful. I don't want to pick this game. And I don't want to pick Miami, but I don't like taking Atlanta on the road giving points either. It reminds me of the movie. Remember, you ever watch the movie Top Gun? Where the commander has to send Maverick and Goose to the Top Gun Academy, and he really doesn't want to do it, and he's all upset. He's like, I really don't want to do this, but I have to send you two guys to Top Gun. That's how I feel here. I don't want to do it, but I got to take Miami in a 2-team teaser. I'll move it to 8.5. I'll take Miami. Again, not one of my favorite plays, but the thought of taking Atlanta on the road giving points scares me too much. I'll take Miami in the 2-team teaser. That's pick number 11. Pick number 12. Let's go to Seattle with the New Orleans Saints. Who dat? On -5 against the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle down to 2-4, lost to Pittsburgh. Seattle was awful in the first half. They played a lot better in the second half. Can Geno Smith come out and play? I'm still not a believer in him. They did play better in the second half. Geno Smith did fumble at the end, led to the Steelers' win. It's going to be a long rest of the season for Seattle if Russell Wilson doesn't come back. It really is. New Orleans at 3-2. They're coming off a bye. I'm going to move it to basically pick them in a 2-team teaser and take the Saints. I just don't trust Geno Smith. I just can't do it. I just can't. I know he had a couple of good throws against Pittsburgh, but what's Pittsburgh? I just can't trust Mr. Smith. I just can't do it right now. I know that Seattle crowd is awesome, and it's a hard place to play, I just think the Saints are better. The Saints have a good defense. They got the good running game. I just think they're better. They're coming off a bye week. They're 2 weeks to prepare. I think they'll go to school on Mr. Geno Smith. I like the Saints here. That's pick number 12. Who dat? And pick number 13, this is the dreaded Thursday night game. This might be a throwout to me. In the dog pound, the Cleveland Browns are at home -4 against the Denver Broncos. Denver, they're down to 3-3. They're falling apart. Lost to Vegas. Looked bad doing it. And then you got the Browns. They're also down to 3-3. They got bombed by Arizona. They got injuries all over the place. Running backs out, tackles out. This is just, this is the walking wounded here. And I don't like Thursday night football to begin with. You know, at first glance, if you ask me who was going to win, I'd say, I think Cleveland's going to win. But do I love it? No. Do I love Thursday night football? No. So to me, it's a throwout. If I had to say who was going to win, I would probably lean towards Cleveland. But I don't trust them right now. Not with all these injuries. Not with all these injuries. Quarterback is banged up. 2 tackles out. 2 running backs out. And Denver, they're looking bad on the other side too. To me, it's a throwout. Throwout. There you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys are all set for week number 7. Hard to believe we're in week number 7 already. The year is just flying by. Thanks as always for the support. The most loyal listeners in all of YouTube are right here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Pick a lot of winners. Make a lot of money. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. I'll talk to you guys next Tuesday. Take care.